Chicago's story begins with water, but it is told through its architecture. Hello, Corbin again here from Planpackstay. We had the opportunity to take an architectural boat tour through the Chicago River, which is a must-see when visiting Chicago, Illinois. We booked a Wendella Boat tour, one of many available throughout the day and night. So sit back and enjoy a snippet of what you may see and learn while on one of their tours. The tour starts at a slow crawl east, through the 1920s bridges that connect the north and south parts of the city. These bridges were inspired by Edward Bennett's designs of the bridge towers next to the Eiffel Tower. This major area was once part of Lake Michigan, later filled in with landfill, to create Chicago's new East Side. The Illinois Central Railway Yards sold their air rights to the city in 1967, enabling mid-century architect Ludwig Mies van der Rohe's firm to design Chicago's new development plan over a 50-year span. The tour reaches the opening of the mouth of the Chicago River at the locks of Lake Michigan. This is where we first get the majestic view of the cityscape. Seeing as Lake Michigan and Lake Huron are at the same elevation, technically these are one massive freshwater lake, the largest by surface area in the world, and together with the other Great Lakes of the North Americas, hold an astounding 20% of Earth's surface freshwater. Chicago's summer tourism traditions date back to 1935, when boat tours were launched to boost civic pride during the Great Depression. The city's defining water feature, the Chicago River, was famously reversed in opposite flow in the year 1900 to divert pollution away from Lake Michigan. This 11-year engineering feat was larger in total earth moved than the later Panama Canal. The route passes Grant Park, Chicago's front porch, a large park system with a maze of walkways. Also passing by Millennium Park, which is home to Anish Kapoor's famous Cloud Gate sculpture nicknamed The Bean, a stainless steel, mercury drop-inspired work that reflects the city and encourages public interaction. Not to mention just a minute walk to the J. Pritzker Pavilion, a beautiful amphitheater, an award-winning design of Frank Gehry. Chicago takes pride in its public art, architecture, and urban design shape and community engagement. Next up is the St. Regis building, which combines a hotel at its base with condominiums above a 1,198-foot tall structure. The tallest building in the world, designed by a female architect. Designed by architect Jean Gang, it resembles three bundled stems inspired by nature. Its feminine hourglass silhouette is achieved not with curved glass, but by alternating floor extensions and recessions. The building's glass blue and teal color tones evoke the rich tones of the Chicago River and Lake Michigan. This engineering feat showcases the use of two open blow-through floors to reduce wind sway, a necessity discovered during wind tunnel testing, as well as using a liquid mass damper at its foundation to stabilize movement. The tour passes landmarks like the Adler Planetarium, Soldier Field, Hyde Park, and Jackson Park, noting the legacy of the 1893 World's Fair, which helped inspire the City Beautiful movement, notably Lake Point Tower, built in 1968, once the tallest residential building in the world, is situated along the canal, which later brought about Chicago's ordinance protecting open lakefront space. This improved 30 miles of shoreline, with 26 miles dedicated to public parks, which reflects the 1837 Chicago founding vision as a city in a garden. Chicago's lakefront is kept public and accessible, with 28 beaches and 9 local marinas, boasting more registered sailboats than San Diego despite its shorter sailing season. The Chicago River is being redeveloped into a second lakefront, with parks and attractions like the Centennial Fountain, built in 1989 to honor the river reversal. That reversal, completed in 1900, is tied to today's massive deep tunnel and reservoir project. This involves 109 miles of underground tunnels and giant reservoirs beneath the city, designed to prevent sewage overflows and protect water quality of the rivers and lakes. The river's annual green dyeing on St. Patrick's Day is highlighted as another civic pride tradition. Along the Riverwalk, notable buildings like the Tribune Tower of 1925 and the Wrigley Building, the latter inspired by the 1893 World's Fair. The DuSable Bridge honors Chicago's first non-native settler, Jean-Baptiste Point DuSable. The modern architectural shifts are explained through zoning laws, setbacks, and changing materials, seen in landmarks like Marina City, Mather Tower, and the Jewelers Building, which once had car elevators for jewelers and a Prohibition-era reputation for gangster connections. The tour covers several iconic Chicago structures. The IBM Plaza of 1971, one of Ludwig Mies van der Rohe's last works, embodies skin and bones modernism, on par for this style of minimal ornament, steel, and glass. Nearby, Bertram Goldberg's Marina City of 1959 rejects right angles in favor of curved corncob towers, integrating housing, parking, retail, and a marina to promote downtown living when many residents were leaving for the suburbs. Historic riverfront industry is recalled with the 1914 Reed, Murdoch & Co. building, which featured one of Chicago's first public riverfront walkways. The massive 1930 Merchandise Mart, an Art Deco landmark, once held the title of world's largest building and symbolized the optimism of the Roaring Twenties. And if you want to get your steps in, this has about 8 total miles of hallways to explore. The tour reaches Wolf Point, Chicago's birthplace in 1837, where the river branches and early settlers established the city. Notable engineering feats include a skyscraper supported by a massive steel truss transferring the load to a reinforced concrete core, and another tower from 1990, designed by Perkins and Will, that extends over rail tracks with its weight redirected by trusses, acting like a giant steel hand to keep it stable. Again, we see another example of the minimalist, less is more, international style of Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, looking at the SOM's IBM Plaza Twin Towers of 1965 to 1967. These identical structures are cloaked with steel and glass curtain walls, transparent lobbies, and flat roofs, and per his style, are modern, efficient, and globally adaptable. The tour turns back at Jackson Boulevard and showcases the Great Sears Tower, now Willis Tower, completed in 1973 and tallest in the world for 25 years at 1,451 feet. Engineer Fazlur Rahman Khan's bundled tube design used 9 square towers for strength and wind resistance, stepping back at higher floors. The city has placed an emphasis on how skyscrapers reflect both technological progress and cultural identity, adapting through economic shifts and social change. The last building showcases this exactly. 333 West Wacker of 1983, an early modernist curved glass tower reflecting the Green River. The Chicago Riverwalk's 2016 expansion, designed by Carol Ross Barney, was aimed at having each block between bridges designed as a themed room for activities like public art, fishing, and performances. The transformation of the riverfront reflects a century of urban planning, starting with Daniel Burnham and Edward Bennett's 1909 plan of Chicago. Influenced by Paris's city layout, architects set the stage for what is known as Chicago's Emerald Necklace of public spaces. Chicago's world-class architecture is something more than you can even imagine. It holds the future of the city and its deep-rooted history of innovation and sense of community. I truly believe this is a tour you shouldn't miss and a city that you definitely need to visit. Stay until the sun sets, when the city lights come alive, and prepare to have your breath taken away. Thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next adventure. Like and subscribe to our content, and check out our website at planpackstay.com for more travel information and gear.